I don't forget.
It's one of the problems I have with this monthly step dance workshops, so we turned that over to Gary. He remembers to hit the button right away. It usually takes me within the first 5 minutes, and I go, oh, rats.
So, and that brings us to 5:30 or 1 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. So welcome everyone to the final class. Yes, you've made it. It has been a marathon for everybody of the virtual summer school, of TAC's virtual summer school. It's first, and I hope it's onlyest for 2021. Just before we get started, I'd like to remind everybody that the silent auction is still on. It will close during or at the end of the first break during the ball this evening at 5:45 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time precisely. And then, of course, there is the ball this evening. So please, that starts at 5 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time or whatever time it is, wherever you are. And now I'm more than thrilled to hand it over once more to Ron Wallace. I'm from Santa Rosa, California. So over to you, Ron.
Thank you very much. Welcome to class, everyone. And before we get rolling, I'd like you to see these wonderful people back here that are supporting the music. Lisa Doyle playing fiddle, and Gary Thomas on piano. And my camera has moved, so you don't get to see Lisa's lovely face. Just a moment. Here she comes. There she is. Okay. And so we're going to get right into dancing. So if you are in a position where you can dance full out, please start by walking the dances and build up to it. But I know many of you are only able to walk through the dances in your situation. And so we're going to launch right into the first dance. First, we'll get into the dance and the story later. The name of the dance is the Courthouse Walk. The Courthouse Walk. And it's a jig for 3 couples. And it would be danced in a 4-couple set, so you'd have opportunity. Oh, now is my head cut off?
I'm afraid so.
Yeah, well, we can adjust this a little bit, I think. Pardon me. Let's see what's cut off now. I'm here. Okay, that's better. So the opening formation is an 8-bar formation called progressive double figure of 8. For those of you who danced in the teacher's class, it's the very same figure we did that day, but here it begins the dance. And the first and second couples have a different role to make it progressive. And the first couple will cross over giving right hands. We'll think skip change of step, but we'll just walk as the twos set. So that's bars 1 and 2. Then it flows into a double figure of 8 with the twos crossing diagonally up and the ones casting off one place, and then continue the double figure of 8 with first woman crossing up and then her partner casting off, and finally the twos crossing up and dancing the short way into place. So it's cross, cast, figure of 8 up and end in second place for the first couple. For the twos, set, cross up, cast off one place, and cross up to top place to complete the progression. With 8 bars of music, we're going to just walk that progressive figure of 8. Ready, and cross. 1, 2, crossing up. The ones cross up. The twos cross up. Let's go ahead and take that again. May not be familiar to all of you. Ones cross and cast off one place and then launch into your figure of 8 up. Twos set and cross up into your double figure of 8. 8 bars again, please. Ready, and cross or set. Now figures of 8. Right. I'm going to ask a question that will require some of you to answer. Are there any of you dancing in groups out there? Are you mostly solos or just 2 people only? Chat response, please. Solo, 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 solo. 2 solo. In pairs, okay. Well, I'm going to treat it in pairs. I'm now going to just step to the other side of the set to walk it as first woman, but again with the music. 8 bars again, please. Now I'm dancing as first woman. Ready, and cross. 1, 2, cast. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I end in second place on my own side of the set. I'm going to move on. First couple are in second place, ready for the second 8-bar phrase, which is turn partner, corner, partner, corner. So we'll give a right hand to our partner and turn approximately 3/4. Give a left hand to our first corner and turn them right round. One's turned by the right hand, approximately 3/4 to second corners, and turn them by the left hand to end in lines of 3 across the set. First man up at the top between the 2s, first woman in third place between the 3s. So let's walk that with the music. Turn your partner first by the right hand and then corner. Ready, and turn 1. Now first corners. Now your partner. Second corner. And there we are. For those of you who've danced Fair Jenny's Jig, it's the same turn, partner, corner formation. Let's take that right away again. Here we are in second place, ready to turn our partner to begin. Ready, and turn 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now let's put those two pieces together. We have the progressive figure of 8, followed by turn partner, corner, partner, corner. The first 16 bars of the courthouse walk. Ready, and cross. 1, 2, cast. 3, figure of 8 up. Turn partner. First corners. Partner. And second corners. And there we are. Let's put those two together again. We'll really cement them into place. And pay real close attention to the fact that when the ones cast off at the end of the double figure of 8, they're continuing by turning each other. So you want to plan far enough ahead that you're not slowing down at the sideline, but just dancing through it as we start the next phrase. 16 bars again, please. Ready, and cross and cast. Keep on going. And here we are ready for the third section of the dance. We're going to set and cross back, giving right hands both times. The second time, the first couple turn a bit extra to end on the opposite sides of the set. So we'll all set 1 and 2. Give right hands, cross straight up and down with the person you're facing, and repeat 5, 6. They'll just cross and change places. We will turn to end on the opposite sides of the set. So just the third 8 bars, set and cross, or turn. Ready, and set. 1, 2, 3, 4, set. And the dance finishes with circle round and back. And oh my gosh, you're saying, but I'm on the opposite side of the set. Exactly where you're supposed to be. So the final 8 bars, circle round and back. Ready, and. because the second time through the dance, you dance as your partner. Now that doesn't provide a big difference, except it is from the opposite side of the set. So let's see what happens and what differences there are. So the second time through, starting the progressive figures of 8, we're going to still cross over and cast to begin. But now, dancing as a woman, I'll be crossing through first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So now my corners are on that side of the set. So let's go back and take the progressive figure of 8 from this side of the set. The first 8 bars, please. Ready, and cross. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right, is that working fine? Then we have the turn partner, corner, partner, corner. So remember, our partners in the middle, our 2 corners are on our original side of the set. Let's give that a walk. Right hand and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now I'm down at the bottom or below where we will set, set, cross, up and down, set, set, right hand turn 3/4 to our original side of the set, to circle, round, and back. So I connected all of those right on. So let's just take 32 bars, starting in second place on the opposite side of the set. All of that 2 and 2, please. Progressive figure of 8 to begin. Ready, and. Turn partner, corner, partner, corner, set and cross. And there you are in third place, back on your own side of the set, ready to step down to the foot of the set as a new first couple begins. Now, because we're mostly singles or pairs, for today we'll dance it 3 times through. So it'll be from your original side, the opposite side, and back to your original side once again. So we won't stop after the second turn. We'll imagine you're in a 5-couple set. So rather than having it only twice through, I'd like to hear more music and give you more opportunity to dance. Now, the story, as you're catching your breath. 5 years ago, whoops, I have to look at the piece of paper. This is going to be real embarrassing in a moment. Yeah, 5 years ago, 2016, laws, etc., made it important for some people to get married who weren't already married. And that was the case for us. Some 35 years on, the idea of getting married seemed rather amazing, but nonetheless, we did it. We did it at a courthouse, and they call themselves bridesmaids, but I call them the groomsmaids, were Elaine Brunken and Muriel Johnston. Muriel wrote the tune, and Elaine, and I think maybe Muriel had her finger in the dance as well, but I think of it as a dance by Elaine Brunken. Oh, it says devised by, and it has both names on the bottom. So, the courthouse walk, the name came about because they were walking behind us on the way to the courthouse, and as we were walking towards it, we had our arms around each other, and that was a moment that Elaine loved so much. So for you, the courthouse walk, the tune is called Douglas Bagel's Jig, and we won't go into that at the moment. Maybe I'll tell you that story when you're resting after this dance. Progressive figure of 8, turn partner, corner, partner, corner. In lines across the dance, set and cross straight up and down, right hand, and repeat with the ones turning just a bit extra to the opposite side of the set. to circle round and back. Repeat the 32 bars from that side of the set, and then repeat them once again from your original side of the set for 3 times through the courthouse walk. With a bow and curtsy. Thank you. Turn partner. Any questions on that dance?
Not at the moment, thanks, Ron.
Great, then I'll talk about the tune a little bit. I'm sure some of you have seen the film The Birds. It was filmed by Alfred Hitchcock in Sonoma County, where I live. And the restaurant that Inn at the Tides was used for the restaurant scene in that film. And we were there having a seafood meal on the day of our wedding. The waitress who came by overheard us talking about the seagull that was standing on the railing. And she said, "That's no seagull, it's a bagel." And there's this moment of hesitation, and then it was Bodega Bay, so it's a bagel, not a seagull. And then I looked up and noticed her name tag. Her name was Linda, and my late sister's name was Linda. And so it kind of brought some good emotion into the whole picture. But it also produced a tune, and later our first sibling, Douglas, is sitting on the kitchen counter. I might bring him in a little bit later for you to meet. We're going to be continuing on with the Strathspey. Could we have the first 8 bars, please? Thank you. Lovely tune written by Nicholas Generard from Paris to a dance written by Shannon Kiernan. The dance is called Drawn In. The tune is called The Translator. And the name, there's no indication where it comes from, but I think as you do this Strathspey, you'll maybe see why it was called Drawn In. So you have your Strathspey brains in place. It's a long-wise set, and again, it's a 3-couple dance. First couple going to start by giving right hands crossing down between the twos and casting up one place. In some places, that's just referred to as a handed figure of 8, but in this case, a half. And at the end of that, the twos prepare by facing up, ready to give us a handy hand, left for first man, right for first woman, and we'll have a 4-bar gradual turn, 5, 2, 3, 6, 2, 3, 7, 2, 3, and 8, 2, 3. And the second couple will dance a polite turn into place. Let's walk that all together. A right hand to begin, and cross down right, 2, 3, 4, turn, 5, 6, 7, and 8. With the music, the first 8 bars, please. Ready, and 1, 2, mirror turns, 5, 6, 7. Now I hope you're imagining the wonderful covering that happens during those turns, where you're turning at the same time, meeting your partner, whether you're a 1 or a 2, and finishing back on the sidelines. I love the magic of that covering that makes the whole dance just pop. To continue the dance, we're going to do something else, and it's just escaped my mind what it is. Right, we're in second place, our own side. I'm sorry, opposite side. And we're at the top, aren't we? Yes, we're at the top. Now I'm back in the program. Ones are going to advance, and this is kind of part of the drawn in from that turn. In, 2, step up, 3 and 4. And now they're going to chase corners clockwise, halfway around, as the ones turn 2 hands, once and a half. So there's once. And as we're preparing for the half, let go so you can pass by your partner to your own side of the set facing out. So the second 8-bar phrase started with the ones at the top. We advance in for a slow cast, 2 step up, 3 and 4. All 4 corners chase as the ones turn, 5, 6, 7, and 8. From first place, the second 8 bars, please, of drawn in. Ready, and... And now up to the top to put that together. The first 16 bars, ones giving right hands, cross down, cast up. Mirror turns on the sides. Then ones are drawn in and cast off as a 2 step up. And they turn 2 hands 1.5 times as the corners chase halfway around the set. First 16 bars, please. Ready, and... Facing out and the corners facing in, we're all lined up for a reel of 3 on our own side of the set, right shoulders to what would be our third corner. 1, 2, 3, or 1, 1, 2, 3. So on this side of the set, we'll give right shoulders. I'll dance out and up. My partner will dance out and down, with a slight variation at the end. So just watch, please. We'll pass right, go through the middle, I'll go through the middle, and instead of heading out to the sidelines, I'm just going to head towards the middle of the set, so my partner's at my left and my first corner is at my right. So starting the reel of 3 for 8 bars with music, the third phrase of the dance, please. Ready, and 1, 2, 8 full bars for everyone. And my next formation is a corner formation, but I don't have to turn squarely. So I'm going to gradually move around into that. Right, so we're now going to put the second and third figures together because there's some melding we want to pay attention to there. So we're going to start with ones in first place on the opposite side, ready to be drawn in, cast off, 2-hand turn as the corners chase, flowing into the reels of 3 for 8 bars. B-A. Ready, and... for the last 8 bars of the dance, and it's a standard formation, corners, pass, and turn. So the ones have it easy. You pass the first corners by the right shoulders, pass each other up and down the center right shoulder. Pass second corners by the right shoulder, and again pass each other by the right shoulder to get to your own side of the set to finish. Now the corners, you're going to advance for 1, turn 2 hands right round in 1 bar, and then exit 3 and 4. Second corners will then repeat the same. Let's walk that formation. Ones are in the center, ready to give a right shoulder to their first corner, who will start moving immediately, so they'll turn on the diagonal. And 1, 2. Now they're dancing out to places we're dancing in. We pass right shoulders. We'll pass right shoulders with second corners. They will turn, and we'll once again pass right shoulders with them as we cross the set, the second place on our own side. Yes, in this dance you get to finish on your own side of the set. So those last 8 bars with music, with corners, pass, and turn. Ready, and pass right. They'll turn right. As they return, we pass them, and pass our partner. Pass the corner, they turn, pass the corner, pass the partner, and you're back to your own side of the set. We're going to put the last 2 figures together, the reel of 3 on the sides and corners, pass, and turn. So step to second place on your own side, facing out, ready to give a right shoulder. For the 8-bar reel of 3. The last 16 bars. Ready, and pass right, 2, 3, halfway, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1. Isn't that a great tune to dance to? Well done, Nicholas. That's a wonderful, wonderful tune. Now let's put those 32 bars together. How did it begin? Handed, right-handed, half figure of 8, mirror turns. The ones are drawn in and cast into second place. Then we'll turn 2 hands, 1 and a half to your own side for a right shoulder, reel of 3 to corners, and dance corners, pass, and turn. Just 32 bars, and we'll see how we're doing. Ready, and 1, 2. Mirror, turns. have any questions there?
Nothing at the moment, thanks, Ron. Everybody's loving the dancing, though.
Great. So we'll go 3 times, let's go ahead and do it 3 times through as ones. Since we don't get to support all the way back up again, we'll dance it 3 times through. Drawn In by Shannon Tiernan. And if you've seen the original Paris book, it's dark blue. The new one that just came out is white, so you'll know the difference. And just like the first one, it has the book of accompanying tunes as well.
Ron, quick question about the corner. So is this a 3-couple set dance?
No,
So
it's a 4-couple dance.
The corners, I'm just trying to follow what the corners do. The corners chase halfway around during that second 8 bars, right? And then how do they get back to place?
Because I've never had corners here at the same time. They are chasing clockwise halfway. Well, my goodness, I don't know. This is a wonderful first for me. Thank you, TAC Summer School, for providing me the opportunity. A Zoom lesson where the corners end on the opposite side. I'm sure I'm making a mistake here, because I doubt they would publish anything.
If it's a 3-couple set dance, then it would be fine because they just finished 3, 1, 2.
Right, but it says 3 couples in a 4-couple set, and it also says repeat having passed a couple. So clearly it's intended for the corners. Dance in, cast off, turn both hands, while the corners chase clockwise halfway. I know what I have done. I'm combining 2 different dances, but it's only the last 8 bars, no problem. It's still a variation on corners, pass, and turn. And thank you, Laura, very much for getting me sorted out on that. In this particular dance, the corners do something different. Half turn and twirl. So the corners come in and turn halfway and twirl back to their own side of the set. We should practice that. So let's take the last 8 bars of the dance, and I am going to be a corner this time to amplify that. Great, the last 8 bars, please. Ready, and... There, all is resolved. Thank you so much. Now, we're ready for 3 times through? Am I reading my notes? Okay, and away we go then, with a bow and curtsy. So, drawn in. first 2 times through went fine for me. The third time I managed to leave out 4 bars in the beginning of the dance. I think dancers are better practiced than us teachers at having the ghost sets going these days. Used to be the other way around. Now, have we cleared up all the questions about that dance?
Yep, I think everyone really liked it with the added half turn and twirl. Thanks, Ron.
Yeah, it made all the difference in the world. Okay, take a moment to get a sip of water, refresh yourselves, just a minute or two. Just wanted to make a comment as you're having your drink that Strathspeys have most likely always been my favorite thing, because the music just goes right deep in my heart. And listening to these tunes just played by these two just did that for me all over again. They make you want to dance. So let's hurry up and get back on the dance floor in a healthy way so we can do that together instead of solo. Just a moment here. We're going to continue with a jig. And this particular jig has a title signature that I have in a couple of other dances. The first one is Crocum and Stegumber, because of these 2 signs in the south west of England that we kept seeing, but there was never a village to be seen. And then after road signs in Nova Scotia, Pugwash and Tatamagouche. Now this one is Volga and Kazanka. The river Volga runs by the city of Kazan in Russia, and the river Kazanka flows in the Volga at that particular point. So it's Volga and Kazanka, K-A-Z-A-N-K-A. There will be no spelling test after. But I wrote this for the dancers in Kazan for their annual workshop, which I have to say was quite a delight. Dancers all over Russia coming together and strutting their stuff, and it was quite wonderful. So, Volga and Kazanka, a jig. Can we hear the first 8 bars to set us up, please? Ready, and... Right, and it starts with the same giving of a right hand in a half figure of 8 across the dance, but we want to here be slightly ahead. We're going to cross down 1, 2, 3, and into the set giving left hands. The 2s will step up, and this time we'll cross down through the 3s. 5, 6, cast up 1 place to the middle and face down. My partner's side by side with me. We will not have hands joined, but she's right there. So we've had 2 half figures of 8 across the dance. Again, please, just walking. Right hand and right hand. 1, 2, 3. Inside the set, step up. 5, 6, 7, and 8. I'm putting my hand out just to show you where my partner is. So there are 2 men beside me, my partner, and 2 women beside her. Let's dance those first 8 bars with music, please. Ready, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, since that's a little bit different, we'll go ahead and take that right away again and then move on. Ready, and right hand round the 2s. Down the middle of the 2, step up, around the 3s. And we're ready to continue. And the next little bit comes from a dance that I was taught in the 70s called Bob's Your Uncle, and I've never bumped into the dance since. We're going to dance hands across on our own sides, men by the right and women by the left. And it's just about once round. And 1, 2, 3. I'm looking for my partner. And as I see her, I'm going to let go. She's going to cross in front of me to join that hands across as I join the other one. And then the next couple does the same, and the next couple does the same after that, until we end back in the middle. All the men are on the women's side, and all the women are on the men's side. Now that's a slightly hard to imagine without all those people. But notice I'm facing down the middle, second man is behind me, and third man is in front of me. So I'll do this from the women's side in just a moment. So we go around almost once, and the one behind me, second man, will be the next one to cross over, and the last one will be the third man towards the very end of that wheel. Now, I'm becoming first woman. So I'm starting on this side of the set, left hands across almost once round, 2, 3. I see my partner and I cut in front of my partner and join the other wheel. And the subsequent couples do the same until the ones are right back in the center. So we're going to dance it, me dancing as a man the first time. So the second 8 bars, please. Ready, and crossover, crossover, crossover. And so only really the last bar is everyone crossed over and solid into place. Wipe the slate clean. Now I will dance it as first woman. The same thing. Ready, and right. So here we are in the middle facing down. The other couples are going to follow us a la shift and bobbins, but it will be different. I'm now going to be first man. My partner's beside me, nearer hands joined. 1s followed by 2s followed by 3s dance down the middle for 3 bars. Men dancing below their partners, turn their partners under their right hand. So you've changed sides, 4 and 5, and dance back up 6, 7, 3s cast into third place, 2s cast into top place, and we're going to have another hands across, once round, and once finish the dance, dancing up and casting off one place, ready to give right hands to repeat. So with the music, we're going to start with the down the middle, under the arm and up, hands across in the final loop. So the last 16 bars. Ready, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. So as you dance up the middle, 3s, very important to cast to third place, 2s cast into top place, leaving that hole in the center. Dance the hands across back to that position, and that will ensure the ones a place to dance to when they finish their dance up and cast off one place. Let's take the 32 bars with music. So we have the right-handed half figure of 8 across the dance with the 2s, and then the left-handed half figure of 8 across the dance with the 3s to end in the middle of the set facing down. Hands across on your own side, and then one per couple at a time, changing wheels. 1s followed by 2s and 3s down the middle, under the arm and up. Hands across once again, and the 1s dance up to the top and cast into second place. Volga and Kazanka, 32 bars, please. Ready, and... questions before we take it 3 times through?
Yes, Ron, there was a question about how can we do the hands across if the others behind couple 1 keep dropping off to cross to the other side? So maybe that bit needs a slight bit of clarification.
Repeat, please.
How can we do the hands across? This is the part where you switch sides.
Right.
How can we do the hands across if the others behind the first couple keep dropping off to cross to the other side? That was the question.
So if they're dancing as solos, they might not see that it kind of cures itself. But if they're in a group, only the first two drop out first when they almost meet. Each couple, as they almost meet their partner, that's your signal to drop hands and move to the other wheel. So the first couple do it on the first bar of that particular phrase. Excuse me, I think we're at the end of a phrase by now, aren't we? No, we're in bar, yeah. So we've made it to bar 4. On bar 5, the 1s are changing. On bar 6, the 2s. Bar 7, the 3s. So you have only 1 bar together for your wheel on the other side of the set. Okay?
Thanks, Ron.
Mm-hmm. So ready for 3 times through with music. Volga and Kazanka. Thank you. Ta-da. How did that go?
Ron, was that purposefully a fun, was it inspired by Shift and Bobbins? Because it seems like it's just a very cool elaboration of Shift and Bobbins in some ways.
Yes, as I was writing the dance, I wanted something that would be kind of familiar enough in nature that language wouldn't be too big of a barrier in the teaching of it. You know, it's kind of part of the thought. And plus, but I didn't want it exactly out of Shift and Bobbins, so it's taking it to a slightly different place. It might seem a little bit like plagiarism, but I think it's a compliment, a hats off to Shift and Bobbins. Twos and threes get back to their own side when you dance down the middle and under your partner's arm. So when you dance back up, you're getting to your own side. Because all 3 couples are dancing under your partner's arm. All 3 couples are dancing down the middle and up. Okay? Anything else? Righty-o. Let's just take a few more moments and relax before we continue on. One of the things that happens in dancing dances only 3 times through is that you get through a lot more dances in a short time. So what I'm thinking about doing is having a reprise of each of our dances, maybe doing each of them twice through again. But we'll wait until after we're done with the last dance to make sure there's actually time for that. We're going to be continuing in a moment with a reel called The Engine Room. Could we have 8 bars, please? another Muriel Johnston tune. And it's important to note what the name means. When Bill and Muriel were married, I was over helping getting their home ready for the wedding, and as was a very close friend of theirs, Ronnie Curry, who plays a stand-up bass. And so in between, actually we'd be working away papering a wall or this, that, and the other thing, and he'll say, I feel a tune coming on, and he'll go grab his bass and Muriel will start playing piano, and there'd be wonderful music in between sieges of wallpaper paste, etc. Ronnie Curry used that name, the engine room, to mean the bass and piano of the band, that they're the engine that makes the whole thing really cook. And I think that's a great description of what can happen when the bass line musicians are really working together, which allows the melody musicians to just rest comfortably on top and go their merry way. It seems that our camera keeps moving, or Lisa does, one or the other. And she disappears. I'm going to bring her back. There she is again. Good. So the engine room is a 32-bar reel, again, for 3 couples in a 4-couple set, and includes some slight variations on things. The dance begins with all 3 couples joining hands on the sides to set. On the second pas de basque, they drop hands and they all prepare for reels of 3 on the sides. Mirror, right shoulder on the men's side, left on the women's side. So for second man, set 1, 2, 3, and 2, 2, 3. Ready to go. In third place, set right and left, because you're going to dance in and up. This reel is on your own side of the set, so we'll join hands and set 1, 2, 3, and 2, 2, 3. Reel 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So it's a 6-bar reel. We're used to those. Not quite as common on the sides there as they are, in the corner formations where you're on the opposite side, starting in the middle. But it works out to be the same thing phrasing-wise. So we'll set bars 1 and 2, and then the reel with the first 8 bars of music. Ready, and set. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, one of the things I'd point out in a reel, when you're dancing reels of 3, that you have this great opportunity at the beginning of the reel to launch a good skip and reach. And if you attack from the beginning, very easy. But if you don't from the beginning and think you can catch up at the end, you most likely won't. It needs to be right away, take off. Not extra big steps, but you need to attack the 8 bars from the beginning. Once again, please, the same phrase. Ready, and set. 1, prepare, and reel. And ones won't stop. They're going to dance back to back. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then with a hint of up, we're going to cast off as a 2-step up. Hop, step, close step, hop, step, close step. Give right hands to cross over. And here, it doesn't really matter how far you make it. You know, if you're here in the middle, fine. If you're a little bit ahead of that, fine. Because you're going to continue dancing around your corners who will be moving at the same time. So, ones in top place are ready to dance back to back, cast off, and give right hands, possibly crossing over. The second 8 bars, please. Ready, and. Now let's put the first half together. Set and 6-bar reel, where ones won't stop. They just continue into the back to back, and that hint of up into the cast, and then right hands to cross over. 16 bars. Ready, and set. 1, prepare. going to go into a combined or a combination of corners, pass and turn, and double triangles, but the corners aren't going to pass and turn or turn each other. The corners are going to dance back to back. So the ones who just crossed over, first corners dance back to back as we dance right shoulders around them. 1, 2, ones approach each other straight up and down the set, and then pull back right shoulder, then back to back with your partner. Set 5 and 6, up and down, so the 2s are facing down, 3s are facing up. Drop hands and 2 pas de basque to change places, 3 and 4, or actually 7 and 8. Let's see what that's like again, just that much. We're going to right shoulder around our first corners, who are dancing back to back, and then the half crown triangles. No, it's closer to half double triangles. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. With 8 bars of music, we're on the third phrase now. Right shoulders around first corners. Ready, and 1, 2. And yes, the corners continue to set. I compared it to double triangles for that reason. They set for 4 bars. Now the ones are going to give a right shoulder to their second corners who dance back to back. Off we go. 1, 2. Ones dance directly towards each other across the set and pull back right shoulder and dance the second half of double triangles. 5, 6, 7, and 8. So facing second corners, the next 8 bars, right? Ready, and. We'll try that again. I'll do it starting with the right thing. Ready, and. 1, 2, 3. So is that bar 32? Good. Right, so now we're going to put the 2 corner formations together. We'll start by giving a right shoulder to our first corner as first corners dance back to back on the diagonal, and then the half double triangles up and down the set. Then right shoulder around our second corners and back to back facing opposite sides, and the second half of a standard double triangles. The last 16 bars of the engine room. 4 once through the tune. Ready, and. And we're at the bar 32 of the dance. So now, let's have 32 bars straight through. All 3 couples set and reel of 3 on the sides for 6 bars. Ones dance back to back, and then advancing slightly, cast into second place, give right hands, cross over to launch you into that corners figure where they dance back to back, and ones dance right shoulders around you. Half double triangles up and down the set. Right shoulders to second corners and back to back, and the second half of double triangles to end on your own side. Excuse me for a moment. 32 bars with music. All ready to set? Ready, and 1, 2, 3, 4. And now a challenge question for you. Doesn't require an answer, but paying attention as you dance. Are your arms remaining with your body as you're doing those patabas, or are they flapping like a flag in the wind? I hope they're moving right up and down with you, even though no one's holding your arms, because really it's your responsibility to hold your own arms up, never anyone else's. Are we ready for 3 times through? Looking to chat, any questions?
Nope, I think we're ready to go.
Okay, thank you. So we'll have a bow and curtsy, and again, we'll do it 3 times through, and I'll do it from first place each time. Exciting tunes to dance to. And just before we leave this dance, a note that it's a 3-couple dance in a 4-couple set. So the first couple, after your second time through the dance, as you finish the double triangles, you do that petronella turn to 4th place as the couple in 4th place moves up. And if they set moving up, fine with me since they're participating in the double triangles, or if they just want to step, cross step, no matter. The point is to be up and out of the way, or actually up and ready to start the new repetition of the dance, to join in the set and reel. So any questions on that one? No questions? Good, then we have a time for a little review, and we'll just do each dance twice through here. And we're going to go back to the initial jig, courthouse walk. I'll walk it through once first before we, because I know it's been a little while since then. Courthouse walk is a 32-bar jig for 3 couples in a 4-couple set. 1s and 2s dance a progressive figure of 8, where the 1s cross over and the 2s set to begin. 1, 2, then into the figure of 8. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1s turn your partner in corner. 1, 2. Left hand to the corner. Right hand to your partner. Left hand to second corner. All set. Cross up and down, right hand and repeat. Set, set, but 1s turn a bit extra to the opposite side and circle round and back. So your second turn, you'll be starting on the opposite side and dancing as though that's where you started the dance. So we have twice through. Courthouse walk with a bow and curtsy to begin. Thank you. Great. Take a moment, catch your breath. And that was the dance. The first dance was Douglas Bagel, and I meant to go get Douglas for you to meet. Just excuse me. So this is the guy that's responsible for turning us into a family of 3, and subsequently we've become a family of 7. We've grown a bit with a trip to Minnesota that added a loon. Actually, I think I got it in Winnipeg, but the Minnesota people brought it up. At the same time, got one from New Zealand, from Lydia. And we have a bald eagle from Elaine Brunken. That was a joke from the teacher's workshop where we did a dance called the Bald Eagle. So now you've met Douglas Bagel, the name of that first tune that you just danced to. Right. The Strathspey that followed was Drawn In. And again, I'll walk it once quickly. Again, a handed figure of 8 around the 2s. 1, 2. 2s will look up to turn us. 5, 6, 7, 8. Draw in 1, 2, 3, 4, and turn 1.5 times. Releasing hands early enough so you can just pass by each other and face out for a right shoulder reel of 3 for 8 bars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now the 1s will dance a standard corners, pass, and turn. The corners will half turn and twirl. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And there we are, ready to repeat Drawn In by Shannon Kiernan. Just twice through the dance, please. A handed half figure of 8 to begin. So far, so good? Is that a yes?
Yes, there was a question about bars 9 through 16. I don't know if the person still wants a reminder of what the second couple does on bars 9 through 16, or if they figured it out at this point. But perhaps you could just remind folks.
Okay. See, I'm trying to think of where bar 9 is in the dance. I think of the whole thing and I'm not piecing it out. Okay, so twos are standing still for the first 2 bars, then they're stepping up. And then for the last 4 bars, all 4 corners are chasing clockwise halfway around the set. Anything else?
I don't see any other questions.
Well, then we'll prepare to move on to the jig, Volga, and Kazanka. Volga and Kazanka, a 32-bar jig for 3 couples in a 4-couple set. In this dance, we have 2-handed figures of 8 right at the beginning. First, a right-handed half figure of 8 around the 2s. Ending inside the set, 2 step up, 5 and 6, as we dance down between the 3rd couple and cast up around them to end in the middle, facing down. Ones are side by side, but not touching. Ready for hands across on your own side. Right hands for the men, left hands for the women. You almost once round. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now on bar 5, the 1s cross, but others keep moving in their wheel. Then the 2s cross. Then the 3s cross, and you all move 1 more bar until the 1s are back in the middle. So notice you're almost always in a wheel. When you leave one, you don't dance around a while and then find them. You dance right into the other wheel. Then all 3 couples, 1s followed by 2s and 3s, who are finishing their wheel to kind of line up behind us. 3 bars down, lift the right hand. The women will dance above, men below to change places. I wish I could do both of those positions at the same time. And then back up, 5, 6, 3s cast into 3rd place, 2s cast into top place, and we dance hands across with the opposite hand on our own side of the set. And finally, 1s dance up the middle and cast into 2nd place, ready to give right hands to repeat Volga and Kazanka, twice through with a bow and curtsy to begin. There we go. Which leaves us with 1 dance left, and that's the engine room. Oh my, I wish we had 4 couple sets right now to really give a bang up finish to our last dance class as the TAC Summer School this year. But I think 3, let's bump it back up to 3 to finish. Is that okay? We'll have this one 3 times through. I don't want to miss out on that 3rd tune. I love the tunes for this particular dance, and that 3rd one, it's a gutsy reel. Well, they all are, actually. So I'll give you a quick walkthrough of the engine room. a 32-bar reel for 3 couples in a 4-couple set. 1s, 2s, and 3s. Set, then prepare. Reel. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 ones dance back to back. And 1, 2, 3 ones cast off to step up. 5, 6, 7 ones crossover around first corners. 1, they're dancing back to back. And now the ones approach each other back to back. Double triangles. 1, 2, change places of the corners, continue to set. Repeat with second corners. Right shoulder around as they dance back to back. And the second half of double triangles. 2, 3, 4. And just a hint for the future, when you get ready to dance that with more live bodies, you'll find that dancing around the corners as they dance back to back will feel like a first cousin to push me, pull you reels, which has a great bit of additional, chasing someone in or out feature, which we don't see when we're soloists. But up to the top for set and reel of 3 to begin the engine room. 3 times. Set and prepare. Let's everyone give our musicians a great big hand. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Gary. And back to you. Thank you all very much.
All right. Thank you very much, Ron. And thank you, Gary. And thank you, Lisa. That was fantastic. You're still standing, are you? Just?
Yeah.
That was great. That was a lot of dancing. So thank you, everyone. This was the last class for the virtual summer school. So I will send you all off a few minutes early, but that's okay because I know you all need to get changed into your ball gowns for the ball this evening, which will begin at 5 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, back at this station, basically. Ron, did you want to have any last words, or?
I hope this next year of dancing is a lot more satisfying than this past one. And I wish you all the healthiest and safest time in your reentry back into dance.
Absolutely. All right. Thank you, everyone. And we will see you at 5 p.m. Pacific time for the ball. So rest up.
Thanks for the